and was one of the top ranked writers when the students did their survey. They said they loved her the most, especially when she wore this red dress in their classroom. Which she did. I thought that was weird. I was like, why are you wearing that dress? But, you know, they enjoyed it. Without further ado, please give it up for Kamari Carter Hawkins.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thanks, Hiram, for this vision, and it's been a joy being able to be alongside and help it come to pass. It has been a work, you know, but it's a good work, and I was excited to be alongside of that. And I'm going to, I think you wanted to. It was exciting to be inside of the classroom, and one thing I've mentioned before, very briefly, like 10 seconds, I often wonder, like, what have my life been like had an author come to my classroom? I probably would have gone to this work a lot faster, would have done so many other things differently, and I know that this program is inspirational to the students there that we service. I'm going to read one of those stories. I did read to the students. I did read from my book, but I also shared with them this one story because I wanted them to understand the blessings and opportunities that they do have that a lot of children do not that do not have elsewhere. So I went to Kenya 2 years ago, and I wrote this story called Glue Boys, and about little kids that use glue to suppress the hunger pain. So this is what I'm going to read to you briefly. We were in the town, and this is me encountering them. A young boy, about 11, approached Cindy. His right palm was raised upwards towards her. His left palm clutched tightly to the bottle of glue like a hymnal before prayer. "I'm sorry, sweetie, I don't have any money, but would you like my soda?" asked Cindy to the boy, holding out the bottle of orange carbonated drink. The boy didn't speak. He simply nodded his head slowly. In one swift motion, he grabbed the soda, untwisted the cap, and gulped deeply. This soda must have been the clarion call because seconds later, we were surrounded by boys, all boys, around ages 8 to 12, all of them reaching upwards towards us, rust-colored hands from months of not being able to wash stretched towards us, pleading silently. For a moment, we were their diasporic gods, their Jesus, Allah, Oshun, anything that could have changed their life in an instant. Their hands swayed in the air in worship and drug indulgence they needed from us. I've never known real need until I watched a 6-year-old boy abandoned, high from glue, empty-bellied from poverty, beg me, a pauper in my own country, for money. I've never known true hunger until I saw prayer and plea in his eyes. His eyes were brown, sepia where white should be, and completely devoid of hope. I've never known depression until I saw a starving 6-year-old boy. I imagined, what would it have been like to bring them all back to the camp where we were pairing lost children into loving homes? What would it have been like to walk the boys a few miles to catch a ride back to the camp? What would it have been like to stack closely in overcrowded vans next to one of the boys to learn about his story? Would he have inhaled the fumes of hardware glue to soothe his nerves of talking to a Mzungu for the first time? Would he have known any English, or would he have spent the time motioning his intentions with swaying hands? I imagine us making it back to the camp with 12 boys, each excited yet nervous to go with strangers, but never scared because their entire lives have been lived void of fear. Would they have been hoping, thanking us, their gods, their answered prayer, their angels for saving them? I imagined sitting side by side at the dinner table, breaking off scales and bones to reveal edible meat from fresh fish. Would their stomachs churn in thanks or violently cramp from the clenching that stomachs do when they hold on to food tightly, unsure of their next meal? Would they tell us their stomach hurt? Would they keep eating despite pain in hopes of storing enough food in preparation for more hard times? Would they tell us about the hard times? I imagine inviting them to stay with us for the week, give them clean clothes, toiletries, soccer balls, toys, items to remind them they were children deserving of something good. I imagine staying the week with them and then dreading leaving them, unable to carry anything but the burden of their memory back to America. I imagined leaving them to return to their ruin as I returned to a crumbling of my own. The weight of being unable to save them, let alone myself, suffocated me. I thought of these things as the young boys waved begging hands near my face. It wasn't real to me until I felt the burn of acid tears sting my eyes and bitter my mouth. I walked briskly away from them. I didn't want them to see their Mary in pain, in conflict, in anger to her God for seeing small children drugged and in hunger. I walked fast away from them, leaving and forsaking them, because the weight of saving them was beyond me when I could barely save myself.
Keep it going for Kamari Carter Hawkins, wearing that red dress in the classroom. All right, next up on the mic, she wrote a book called Can't No Woman Like Me. Another favorite of these great high school students. Please put your hands together for Jessica Gallion coming to the stage.
So I just want to say thank you to everyone that showed up.